So here we are, day 3 of editing the project. Been spending a couple of hours going through different reels. And a reel is what I've learned from a editing course. What some professionals like to do is they will compile the footages into its own timeline. So let me go to my bins here. I've got all these ones. So let's say these footages in this bin, the chapel bin, is all the clips that were taken within the chapel for the mass. And I've named this as the mass reel. Let's close this for a moment. I'll come back to this section later. What I did in the last couple of hours was going on the cut page and just using the JKL shortcut here to skim through for the good parts of each clip or usable parts of the clip. In case some are too shaky, you have the videographer have any good movements. And from my research here, there were a lot of usable ones, which is why you can see all the markers. Here. All the blue markers, I'm too lazy to change them to a different color at this point. I'm just leaving them as the default blue. Previously, doing the coloring first isn't the best way to speed up the edit. I knew this was the better way, but I wanted to see how the colors look. I was a bit more impatient about it, and I wanted to see how it would look finished. The images look finished on the morning reel. That's where we started off. And then I decided, you know what? I need to speed things up. I want to see something on the proper timeline, on the finalized timeline. So yeah, the best way is to mark your clips, take out the best shots, and start bringing them into the timeline. This is a long time. This is about 42 minutes worth of footages. Let's see, the morning reel, we have 42 minutes as well. And then the dinner one, we also have, this doesn't look like very long, 1 hour's worth of clips. An hour's worth of clips, that's a lot. I need to check if this is all of them. It feels like there should be more. I think there is more. Another method of taking the highlighted clips that you've marked here to your main timeline, your finished timeline, would be pressing this button here. What is it called again? I can't remember what's it called again. You can stack up the timelines like so to as many layers as you want. You can go all crazy for it. I'm not sure if there's a limit. I'm not going to try it here, but you press the X to remove them. I only need 2. Go to this tab here, Our Wedding 2024. You cannot select this timeline if it's on the top here. So you need to close it up here. Let me show you. So if I close this, okay, I can't close it here. If I open a tab here and go to Our Wedding 2024, which is the final timeline, and go here, everything's all grayed out. So you need to close it, then it's available to be selected over here. Now, speaking of the main timeline, I love to work with music. What I typically do is just bring in the tracks that I like. This one's from audio, and the last one is from a Korean Korean American band called Asiatics. I think they disbanded a very long time ago, but I've always enjoyed this piece of music, and I think this particular music speaks to how I felt in celebration of our wedding. Top of the world. But check it out. It's a great track. And this, I've kept it for the highlight at the end, as you've seen. And the beginning, I'm still working out the kinks here at this point. And the build up here, I'm not sure what the story was initially until I wrote down on sticky notes what I wanted to do. And this is what I came up with. It's always good to write down notes to finalize the idea you really want to put out there in your edit. And for this one, I put it as this: dedicated to the efforts dedicated to the efforts of our family and friends and the couple to making this occasion a very special one. This is a rough script, and I'm not sure if it's going to be used as text on screen yet, or is it going to be a voiceover, maybe not a voiceover. I'm leaning towards maybe just text on script, text on screen. So we'll see how that goes. We have some drone shots, which I'm keeping for the song at the end. It's going to be great. I'm going to go a bit more in depth into it once I get down to that part. So stay tuned for that episode. And the build up here, I'm calling this reel here the build up footages, and I've compiled past vlogs that we've taken, that my wife and I have taken over the past months, since last year actually. And I'm going to use some of these inserts into the timeline, pick and choose bits and pieces as to what really shows the hard work we've been doing into making this wedding a great event. For us, at least, it was a great event. I'm happy with it, and that's where we're at. So at this stage, I'm going to be busy marking the best shots here. One thing I discovered while going through the reel and marking all these clips, what does help with the playback is selecting everything and making sure you generate optimized media so that you have a smoother playback. I was having trouble, for some reason I was having trouble with 1080p footage on the morning sections, but now that I've generated optimized media, it plays back much better, even with the color grading. I don't know exactly what the technicality of it is. I don't know why it stalls when the playback is set on full, even after I've generated optimized media. I know it's not the exact same thing as generating a proxy, which halves the resolution, but with this machine, I expected to play this back even smoother without generating optimized media. And even then, I still have to reduce the quality of the resolution to a quarter before you can even play it smoothly like this. So even if I turn this off, let's say I turn off the color grade, set this resolution to full. Okay, it plays back better without the color. I turn the color back on, then it stutters. Interesting. At the same time, it is annoying. The little things they don't tell you about the software, but you gotta really experience it yourself and find your way around it. I would suggest, if you have this kind of problem, to reach out to the DaVinci Resolve support team. They have so far been quite responsive and helpful from my end. So I hope you share that same experience if you reach out to them, if you're using the software for yourself. By the next episode, you should be able to see a rough cut or close to a rough cut on the main timeline here. And this will be more filled with at least the footages and some of the ambient sounds from the clips. I'll see you next time. Good night. Goodbye.